You are listening to The Michael Lodge Show. Wealth, business, and taxes. Oh yeah, and some politics. Let's get started.
Here we are, another Monday. Time to start a new week. New views in life. Creative processes of doing things. And today we're going to talk about conflict. We've been seeing conflict pop up all over this nation. In all kinds of different places. We've seen it in churches, we've seen it in schools, we've seen it in the workplace, and today we're specifically going to talk about the workplace. Because conflict costs business money. In the U.S., and I only know this because of the studies done in the United States, I don't know what happens abroad, but in the United States, employees spend 2.1 hours per week involved in some type of conflict. Either conflict is coming in from the outside, through home, through family, through children, or the conflict is within the company between individuals, between employees, between partners, between senior executives. There's some type of conflict going on. And 2.1 hours per week is a lot of time to be spending on conflict. Now, I've got to tell you that I've seen it more than that. Because I've seen it in the workplace where the conflict has become so bad that it has literally not just... the conflict was no longer just between the two individuals having the conflict, but a whole bunch of people, because it affects everybody around you. So what does that equal out to in money that companies waste every single year on some type of conflict issue that's happening within their companies? $359 billion in paid hours. And that's based on an average hourly earning of $17.95 per hour, or the equivalent of 385 million working days, for the purpose of the study that I'm quoting you from. In fact, the authors of the study define conflict as any workplace disagreement that disrupts the flow of work, and it happens every single day. So according to the report, Workplace Conflict and How Businesses Can Harness It to Thrive, that was the name of the report, they came up with some statistics, and it's really amazing to hear what those numbers came out to. 85% of employees deal with conflict on some level. 29% of employees deal with it almost constantly. 34% of conflict occurs among frontline employees. 12% of employees say they frequently witness conflict among the senior team. That's among the senior team, the leaders that's supposed to be leading. 49% of conflict is a result of personality clashes and egos. And there's a lot of war with egos. I tell you, I've seen it happen in the corporate world. 34% of conflict is caused by stress in the workplace. 33% of conflict is caused by heavy workloads. 27% of employees have witnessed conflicts that have led to personal attacks. Now, I've been in the corporate world for a long time. I have seen that also. Especially when you're sitting around the boardroom, there are some nifty attacks that are flung across the table. But that happens out in the workforce also. So 25% of employees have seen conflict result in sickness or absence. It happens. I have been mediating for a long time, and a lot of people call out sick from their work because they're experiencing some type of conflict that has led to stress, that has created that they just needed to feel that they needed that time out from work just to escape the conflict for 1 day or 2 days. 9% have seen workplace conflict cause a project to fail. So those are numbers. And those numbers paint a picture that says there is conflict in the workplace. And to not waste that billions of dollars every year, because there's conflict going on, productivity slows down, people don't know exactly who to support, they don't know who to talk to, they're afraid to talk to anybody, because they don't know what the repercussions are going to be. So one conflict can create a whole team to fail. If you're wasting time on conflict, you're failing as a team. So leadership of the company has got to understand that if they do not take care of conflict within the company, they are going to lose money, productivity, and also the reputation of the company, because pretty soon that conflict can get outside the company, then all of your customers and all of your clients are hearing about the conflict that is within your company. So I have been talking about conflict for the last few weeks because there's been so much political conflict. People calling other people names. People trying to destroy their jobs because they don't believe the same way the other person believes politically. People trying to attack each other. Social media going nutso with people out there that are spreading as much hate as they possibly can to the other side. And it's happening on both sides. The right and the left is happening on both sides. And some of that is flowing into the companies because companies have not set ethical standards that says politics has no role within your company. That is one set of conflict that is happening more and more every single day. Employees want other employees fired because they don't agree with them politically. We've seen it in mediation. It's come up already. So companies have got to set some standards here. One, they've got to make sure that they have an ethics policy, that everyone knows what that ethic policy is from the top down, and what any role of politics is going to be within your company. Listen, I'm telling you, politics is unethical. And if you have unethical thought processes rolling into your company because they feel that they have the freedom of speech, it ends right there in your company. You've got to stop it. And you as business owners and CEOs and CFOs and HR managers, and you have the responsibility to stop it before it gets out of hand. Any type of conflict, not just political, but any type of conflict, you have the responsibility to resolve that conflict as quickly as possible. And that means that you have to have a good mediation person or team that will go in and resolve the conflict. Never try to do it internally, because there's too much bias. You have to get someone that is not even associated with the company to come in and hear both sides and get a resolution to the issue. Do not try to do it yourself because there is bias. If you train employees that are in mediation, if you're trying to train them in mediation, just remember that person may know that person that they're mediating. So which side do you think they're going to go on? They're not supposed to go on any side, but that's what happens when you have a bias. So I'm truly encouraging every single business out there. Find a mediator that you can work with that can come in and resolve these issues. You partners who are fighting, who have disagreements, the people underneath you can see what's going on. They don't know who to side with, but you've put them in that place. They don't know what to say, what they can say, who they can talk to, who they can't talk to. Because you as a senior member, as a partner, as a executive of that company, fighting with another executive, you have created conflict that is not just between you two, but it has trickled down and affected the whole company. Who's on what team? Don't ever expect to make any money if you're going to allow conflict within a company. Some of you love conflict. Some of you love to see other people going against each other. You should not be in a leadership role if that's the case, because you are the problem of the company. So I encourage every single one of you, if you have conflict within your company, within your church, within your organization, bring in a mediator to resolve it quickly. Otherwise, it's going to cost you. Cost you in money, cost you in reputation, cost you in low productivity or no productivity at all, cost you in things not getting done, dropping the ball on clients. Conflict creates a lot of problems within a company or organization. You know how much conflict does in families. I mean, families, once conflict begins, it can destroy a family. Conflict can be resolved. And it should be resolved. 100% it should be resolved. Otherwise, that conflict can build and build and build, where it becomes a dangerous situation for the individuals around. Conflict is very expensive in so many ways. Listen, if you have a question on conflict or how to resolve conflict, or you need a mediator, text me at 818-252-5682. Again, that's 818-252-5682. Or send me an email at info@lodge-co.com. I'll be more than happy to talk with you. Conflict, I tell you, it really eats at people, and it eats at within companies and families. Resolve conflict as fast and as soon as possible. Don't let it grow into a dangerous situation where it's going to hurt more people that surround the conflict. Listen, if you like my content, if you like my podcasts, my vlogs, my blogs, I think I've covered them all. Donate to buymeacoffee.com/Michael Lodge altogether. That would be of great help to me. I'd greatly appreciate it. So let's go out today. Let's not go out at war. Let's not go to war today. Let's try to resolve these conflicts so that we can move forward in a very positive way. This is Mike Lodge. I'll talk with you very soon. Have a great day. This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.